This is possibly my last week driving this RC Lexus 2018. It is currently sitting at 18,927 miles as I'm driving this out of one of the dealerships. I'm at a Honda dealership right now, and it's bittersweet. I've enjoyed this car for 12 months now. I got a really good APR on it, 2.9%. So the monthly it's there. You know, it's for somebody that's just trying to drive a nice car. It's a good monthly. Okay, it's less than $1,000 for sure. I want you guys to know that. I'm selling this car, and I'm actually going to be making a few $100s more. So right now they're offering me 39 G's. My loan is less than that. If y'all want to do the math of how much I'm paying with a 2.9% APR and interest rate, you guys can check that out. Man, this is just a bittersweet moment for me. I've enjoyed this car. It has these nice dark red leather color. It's a rare find, and it's an RC Lexus. I mean, come on, it has my name on it. I've really been praying and debating on keeping this car, running with it, or if it even makes sense for me to hold on to it. To be honest, right now I'm going more like frugal, and it's kind of like that mindset. You know, like I've even heard of like people making $10 million, right? And that's like what their businesses are popping out year by year, and they're still driving a really old car. And you know, I don't want to be that person. And I honestly, I do think abundance mindset, but I didn't want to be that person that that's just like telling people to be wise with their investments, their money. I'm literally about to turn, I'm about to turn 30, y'all. So at this point in my life, it's like, yeah, I deserve it. But also, if I could just be wise and really invest the money I'm doing to pay this off into other things. And you know, and I already have a mortgage, so I'm paying my mortgage and stuff. So I'm just like looking at my expenses, and I'm really trying to play minimalist right now with everything. I'm trying to keep it simple. I don't want to overwhelm, because as I expand with different ideas, creatives, channels, businesses, departments, I'm managing a lot of stuff day by day. So right now I'm just kind of cutting the fat, and this has really been a weekend car. I barely put miles on this when I drove it. Like, I think I put less than 5,000 miles on this in the year. It's been garaged, and I'm just like, is this gonna be worth paying off for another couple years? And I'm still like, I just paid off my 2009 Lexus IS 250. So I'm just looking at everything, and I guess this is kind of like, yeah, I have all these cars. Turo's been paying off this car for the last year. It's been a super blessing. But can I be using that funds for expansion? And people are like, well, if you're really making this much, like, why not? Like, the amount I paid for this vehicle in the last year, I could have probably bought 2 or 3 other cash cars, and one of those, 2 of those cars, 3 of those cars could be paying. So I'm always looking at it as like an asset. And honestly, this is a way to humble myself. I really enjoy this car. I love this car. It's a 2-seater. I guess just saying that I've had a 2-seater in my life, and again, I'm getting into my 30s, so I'm still in my prime. Guys, I guess I'm just sharing this video to say, like, hey, I'm selling this. Just kind of looking back, I want this to be something I look back at and say, wow, Turo paid for me to drive a luxury vehicle. And yes, this is a luxury vehicle to me. I mean, it's got everything, man. This thing is fire. This thing is dope. It's funny, I'm driving by the Lexus dealership where I bought this from as I'm making this video. Y'all, bittersweet moments, y'all. But I'll be making a few $100 from this. I got to drive this, obviously not for free, right? Like, Turo paid for it, but I can market it as that, like, yo, I drove this car for free, how to drive a car for free by leveraging Turo and all this stuff. And again, I'm gonna be completely honest with my journey. A lot of stuff, numbers, as I continue to scale, because yes, it's paid it off, but there's this, again, being a wise investor. Most businesses in their first 1 to 3 years don't really profit out the gates, especially in this industry. It's not really like that. I know a very, very small amount of people that actually are successful with starting a car rental business, especially in like the luxury space and scaling and actually going the finance route. I would not recommend anybody to go the route I went, to be honest. Unless you're making a lot of money, you have different businesses that can fuel this business for you. That's really us. By the grace of God, I'm just blessed to be able to, during the low months of some car payments that weren't getting rented, it's like I could take the profits of other cars that were making money that month, or I could just keep pouring in. And again, there's a cause and effect to it all. I'm gonna give you guys my game plan probably in another video, but just kind of seeing how blessed I was to just drive this. I always wanted a two-door in my life. The insurance is up there for a two-door. I mean, this is I think it's an F, yeah. And I just think about like just how grateful I am to be able to drive something like this. And I know it's not like your Lambo or anything, but I'll be honest with y'all, like this was like a dream car of mine. I know it's less than 50 grand when I bought it, but it's a dream car of mine, y'all. Like this, to be able to drive something like this has just been amazing. And I'm not the kind of guy that just goes out there, balls out, spoils myself. I'll have a nice dinner here and there. I'll spoil myself with some nice shoes here and there. But like to get a car payment going like this and to be able to really just invest in my joy, right? Because I love to labor. I've lost a lot. I've made really bad decisions, and I'm reaping a lot of those decisions. Whether it was in crypto decisions back in the day, I sold my crypto when it was like at the lowest, and now then I had to pay all that debt off. So there's been a lot of stuff in my life that, and crypto's not the only thing I made bad decisions, but there's a lot of bad financial decisions, and that's why in my late 20s, as I'm like being successful in business, making money in business. Going from like 25 to now I'm about to hit 30 this year. There's just been a lot of blessings, and now I'm a lot more smarter with how I invest, how I use my money, how I treat myself, and where I put my money in. Like I don't just buy random stuff just to flex or look good or anything like that. But you know, I'll take a small percentage of what I make, and I'm like, man, 10 G's in this biz. I'm gonna buy myself a $300 pair, $200 pair of shoes as a reward. That's how I justify it, right? And I'm talking about like profit too. So when I see that, it's like, okay, a few $100 in like a nice pair of shoes because I made 5-figure profit this month. That's good. Before it was like, yes, I made a $2,000 profit or $1,000 sale on a digital product. Now I'm gonna go buy $500 worth of stuff. It's like, no, that's not the way to see it, and I'm getting better at it. So I'm excited to make this move. I believe in a couple years I'll be able to find a car like this if I really want this car. Again, I'm not really attached to nice cars like this. Like I never really been a nice car person. The reason why I even started the Turo business was because my partner, to be honest, like he enjoys driving cars and testing cars and looking at cars and seeing how cars drive. I'm not like that. I'm more of like, let me just sell internet stuff, right? Physical products, digital products, services. And over the year, as I started this Turo business, I've started to slowly learn about cars because I wasn't really into it. Like my dad, he's a mechanic. I mean, that's not his job, but he does mechanic work for cars his whole life. My dad would just do all of my cars. He'll try to teach me how to change an oil, how to check the basic stuff, and I was never into that. It's like, I'll just hire someone to do that. Now I just have I'm just grateful. I have gratitude, and I'm open to learning about cars now, 12 months later. And especially just the beauty of this, like it's like kind of like not knowing all the specs or anything, right? The average person doesn't, but they know how to start a car, park it, drive it, know the basic things that need to get done. Check engine light comes, oil change light comes. It's like the basic stuff, and I've started to learn a little bit more of my journey. I don't know where this video is going, but yeah, I'm selling this car. I'll probably do a separate video on like that whole process. It's been nice. It still smells new a year later because I barely drive this. I took this to California one time, and it was so fun to just drive this to Cali. I felt the smooth ride. It was beautiful. I was just cruising to LA, just chilling and going over Santa Monica. I wish I had B-roll of that stuff and videos, but it's been a journey. Memories are great. I'm moving into a new season right now where I'm really putting my head down, getting better at investing, being better with my money, still enjoying myself, but also having discipline on how I should spend. And I think that's a lot of people. Like when most people think about starting side hustles or businesses, especially in the Turo space, like it's not life-changing money to the point where you're like buying a mansion, right? Like, but multiple cars that profited paid off this one vehicle. So it wasn't like one car, 2, 3 cars, and then it's like, that's really it. Like multiple cars paid profit for this vehicle to be able to be paid for. So I'm thanking God for that. Now it's time to get serious. I want to take the Turo business to another level. I didn't know where I was gonna go with this Turo business. But if you guys are interested, I'm giving you guys like free systems, management stuff. You guys can tap into that link. I'm pre-launching a course that I'm going to be sharing because I get so many questions nowadays, and I want to be able to just share that wisdom and knowledge. But I'll give you guys all my systems, templates, everything for free. So tap in, grab that information. Y'all be blessed, all right? Have a great rest of your week. Hopefully this gave you guys insight on everything and just being a wise investor. Know your season, know where you're at. You know, I'm always being humbled every day, and I'm just thankful. I'm living in gratitude right now to be able to drive this vehicle. Y'all have a great one. Take care. Bye-bye.